Hey readers, thanks for tuning in to Books in the Park. Hope you've been getting some good reading done. It is summer break, and so, parenting duties are in full swing. We've got softball, soccer, theater, not to mention pool time. It's just been a crazy break. Haven't had a lot of time to check in on the videos, so thanks for your patience, but have had some time to finish some books. So let's get right into it. I know that I mentioned it last time. I did finish The Lost City of Z. I've got a more in-depth review for you. Link that thing for you coming out. It's a great book. For those of you who have read it, I know it's a few years old at this point. Just a great adventure story, great snapshot of world history, British history, of human history. And, I just, there's something about exploration and exploring the unknown that just appeals, I think, not just to me, but to, a lot of people. So if that's your kind of thing, check it out. It's a great read. It's a quick read, and I loved it. So Lost City of Z. That was the first one that I finished. Next, I finished Nature Girl by Carl Hiaasen. It's my first Hiaasen novel. I read a profile of him in The Atlantic, and I thought that he just seemed so interesting, and then I needed to read a book with a pink cover for a reading challenge at my library. And sort of having just read the profile, I thought, he has some bright colored books. Maybe I'll check one of his out. And so that's how I found Nature Girl. It follows a single mom and sort of the wacky adventures that take place as she tries to right the wrongs of the world. It is funny. It is, I think, a great snapshot of sort of Americana and Florida. And for those of you who don't know, Hiaasen lives in Florida, and I think mostly writes about Florida. So it's sort of a perspective, I think, shaped by a lifetime of experience. So it's funny. It would be a great beach read or pool read or any kind of summer read, or just if you just need a fun, wacky, sexy break in your reading schedule, check out Hiaasen. I'm looking forward to reading another one. It was that much fun. So Nature Girl, highly recommend that one too. It's a great time. I also finished a book called Children of Ruin, which is book 2 in the Children of Time series. I know I mentioned that I finished Children of Time and that it's one of my favorite books of the year. This one didn't quite live up to that, and I don't know, it was more of a, whereas Children of Time, I think, was a more sort of, this was a more of an inward style book. We spend a lot of time with the thoughts and contemplations of the characters, and the characters were really interesting, but it just took me longer to get through. And I don't know if part of the problem was that, I loved Children of Time so much that I just wanted it to be a more direct continuation of that. And it's an echo of it, but because of sort of the technologies and space travel, the amount of time that is taking place in these books is spread over centuries, and so it's a familiar setting, but it wasn't a direct continuation of the characters and the plot from the first one. So but I think bigger than that, and that wasn't as big of a problem, because the story itself was interesting, and it had some sort of horror elements that were not present in the first one. I think that this would actually make a really interesting, like, jump scare kind of a movie, like sci-fi jump scare kind of a movie. But from a reading standpoint, it just, like I said, it was very much the interior workings of the characters, and that was fine. It has its place, but I hope that it's a bridge to, you know, the next book in the series is, I hope it's more, has more of that, captures more of that wonder that the first one captured. So it was good, but not one of my favorites. And then the last thing that I finished is a graphic novel called Darth Vader. I was just looking for a little bit of a break from reading. I wanted to watch some beautiful art and read a story, and yeah, it's on Kindle Unlimited, so it was sort of a free break for me. And it's good. I like the story of it a lot. It starts off with when Darth Vader becomes Vader. We start right from there, and we learn how he ends up getting his lightsaber. We see how conflicted he is to be this new, you know, Sith Lord, and that aspect of it is really interesting. Some of the art is gorgeous, and sort of in a dark horse sort of motif, you know, very sort of real world, solemn, kind of just a real serious feel to it. But then there's also some of the drawing that is cartoony, Disney, and it felt choppy at times, inconsistent at times. Like one page would be just like absolutely gorgeous, and then the next page it would be like an absolutely gorgeous background, and sort of the action would be, just didn't feel like it quite fit. So I was conflicted on this one. I read volume 1, and I just started on volume 2. So it was obviously good enough to continue on, but I think the jury is still out on how I feel about it. But I think it's really good. I really enjoy, like, periodically reading a graphic novel. It's a different kind of experience, and I just feel like it activates my brain in a different way than normal reading does. But anyway, as far as what I'm reading, I'm listening to Babylon's Ashes, which is the next book in the Expanse series. I'm not having a hard time with the story. Is really interesting, and I love the authors, but I just haven't had much time to listen to books. So I'm worried that I'm not going to get through it in time before I have to turn it back in. I checked it out on Libby, so I might not be able to finish that one for you guys. But that and the volume 2 of the Darth Vader are the only two that I'm reading right now, and I'm trying to sort of decide where I go next. So if you have any recommendations, let me know down below. And if you've read any of these books that I talked about, what are your thoughts on any of those? Have you guys read other Carl Hiaasen or any of the other Children of Time series? Let me know what you think. You know, am I totally off base on Children of Ruin? I don't know. Let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in to the channel, and happy reading.